Hey guys, it's Carrie with Mama Dares to DIY, and I'm so excited that y'all are joining me today because this is my first video of 2020. Now, if it's your first time to my channel, I'll say a big hello, or if you're a returning subscriber, I want to say welcome, my friend. I can't believe how fast 2019 flew by, and y'all, 2020 is going to be absolutely amazing. So I just want to give a big thank you to everybody so far that has supported me and my channel and everything that I did in the last few months of 2019. You never know how much I totally appreciate all of your support. So today's video is not only a collaboration video with a few of my favorite YouTubers, it's a Valentine's Day video. I love Valentine's Day. I actually met my husband around Valentine's Day, February the 11th, and we are going to celebrate our 25th wedding anniversary this April, and Valentine's Day is just my favorite. So anyway, today's video, like I said, is a Valentine's Day wreath video. But now I'm going to give you a couple of bonus things because I do have some extra little things that I've included in there. So be sure to watch all the way to the end because you're not going to want to miss those. So if you're already subscribed to my channel, good for you. Make sure you get all your notifications turned on. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on all notifications. That way you don't miss any single upload that I have coming your way, because trust me, 2020 is just it's going to be amazing. My brain is just full of ideas and I can't wait to share them with y'all. So today's video, like I said, Valentine's Day. And what is Valentine's Day without red and pink? Red and pink are great, but come on. You know I'm a turquoise girl, so I've got to add turquoise into my color scheme. And look, turquoise and red and pink look great together, but wait until we throw a little bit of buffalo plaid in there. The black and white buffalo plaid is just classic to me, and this gives it such a completed look and really modern farmhousey kind of look, but you still get that Valentine's Day look. Okay, y'all, so the first thing that we're going to need is our wreath form, and I did pick this one up from the Dollar Tree, but Walmart and Michael's or any of your craft stores usually have these, and I do believe I saw one of these at Dollar General as well, but this one I did pick up from Dollar Tree. Now, I'm going to be using this jute twine that I picked up also from the Dollar Tree to cover my wreath, but I'm also going to add in a little fun buffalo check, and I think it's just going to be really cute and farmhousey, but also a little bit different than, the total, wreaths that you see out there right now. So I'm just going to take my twine here, flip over my wreath form, and I'm just going to tie a knot to secure this down because you're not going to see the back of this wreath. And I'm also going to take a little bit of hot glue and secure it just so that it doesn't go anywhere. Now I'm just going to take a little rubber spatula just to hold this in place until my glue cools. Okay, and this is probably one of the simplest wreaths you will ever make in your life because literally all you're going to do is wrap the entire thing. So I'm about halfway around right now, and I wanted to point out something. So you can see our little lines here. This sort of helps you to keep your loops uniform. And when you reach this point, you want to make sure that your loops are the same. So just push down your center part here because your center is smaller than your outside. So your center is going to be a little bit tighter. So just make sure that when you get to one of your little cross wires, I guess you would call these, that you do push that center in so that you end up with an even piece like this. So now I'm just going to keep on wrapping until I've used up all my cord. Okay, so you can see I've gone about 3/4 of the way around, if not a little bit more. and I've just left this one little section here. Well, as I was almost to the end here, I actually ran out of the jute cord that I was using, and you can see the one that I had to switch to is a slightly different texture as well as a slightly different color. So to kind of make that match, I put a little bit of the new cord on one side, and then I also jumped back to the beginning and put a little bit more here. But I don't really like the way this is so perfect and uniform. So I'm going to take the rest of my cord that's left here, and I'm just going to kind of give it some more texture. I don't care. I don't want it to really be perfect. Like, I like that it's kind of messy looking. Okay, so I think I like the way that looks. Like I said, it just gives it a little more texture here. And I'll use my hot glue on the back here, and I'll secure that down. And that's going to hold that in place. While I'm at a stopping point here, I do want to give a shout out to Arteza for the brand new cutting mat that I have here. It's a huge 24 by 36 mat, and it really gives me a nice filming area, and it also flips over to the darker gray as well. So now I can cut on here and I can film on here, and I've got a really nice large area for y'all to see. So yay, thanks Arteza for this beautiful new mat. Okay, so now I'm ready to move on to the next part. And this part, you can actually pick up the supplies from the Dollar Tree, but I happened to score some of this mesh ribbon from Walmart while it was on the Christmas clearance. So I ended up getting this for 75% off. I think I paid like 50 cents for this whole roll maybe. But I also picked up this groovy buffalo plaid mesh. And y'all, I think I paid like $2 for this whole roll, and I just absolutely love it. I'll be honest, I've never worked with mesh before. I've never made a mesh wreath, and so I was a little bit intimidated. I wasn't really sure how this worked, but if you want to pick up some of your own buffalo plaid mesh, I will put a link to some that you can pick up from Amazon down below, and you can pull off this same look. Like I said, you can totally do this with Dollar Tree items. However, Dollar Tree did not have this, the buffalo check that I wanted. And not to mention, I couldn't pass up the bargain because this whole huge roll, like I said, was just $2. Okay, so I'm going to pull out my Fiskars little spring action scissors here. And I want to cut 1, 2, 3. I want to cut 4 squares here. So I'm just going to kind of follow along this line. That's the great thing about this color mesh. You can just follow the lines here. You don't have to worry about it being straight. It just kind of tells you where to cut. Okay, so I'm going to put this down. Now next I'm going to cut it in half. So I'm going to have 2 sections that are 4 squares by 4 squares. And it doesn't have to be precise or exact, because I'm going to be using sort of like a rolling technique. Okay, so I've got 2 of these. And I'm also going to cut me a little square of this red. I really like this. It's a little bit glittery, but it's got sort of some sparkle to it too. And again, I'm not going to measure it. I just want to kind of make a square. Of course, if I wanted to, I could measure off of my measurements here, but because it's going to be rolled up, I'm just going to wing it. Okay, now I'm also going to need one of the chenille pipe cleaners from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to use one in red. Like I said, I honestly have never worked with this mesh before, or any mesh as a matter of fact, so I wasn't sure how I wanted to do it. I knew I didn't really want to make it like loopy. I kind of wanted it to have a little bit of organic feel to it. So I think I'm just going to roll it. I'm just going to take and roll my little piece here. And then I'm going to hold it with this hand. And then I'm going to roll the other one. And I really like the way it kind of makes a little pointed edge here. I'm kind of excited to play around with this mesh and see what else I can do with it. So I'm going to make a little crisscross here. Then I'm going to roll up my red one the same way that I did that. And I'm going to put that one over the top here. Then I'm going to take my red pipe cleaner and secure these together really tight. And let's see what this is going to look like on here. Now I have gone ahead and made 2 more because I plan on using 3 of these to attach to my wreath. Okay, so what does that look like? We'll see. We'll keep going and see what this ends up looking like. Okay, so now I'm going to add in my Valentine elements. And one of the things that I picked up from the Dollar Tree was this cute little welcome sign. I really loved that you could cut these Valentines apart and use them all over your wreath. So I really think that's what I'm going to do here. So my colors that I'm using for Valentine's Day are obviously the black and white buffalo plaid. I'm going to be using red and also pink, but I also want some pops of turquoise. So I picked up this ribbon from the Dollar Tree, and on one side it has the gold chevron, and on the other side it's plain. And I really think I like this plain side better. I think the gold kind of takes away from that farmhouse feel that I'm going for. So I'm just going to use the back side of this ribbon to add in a few little embellishments here. And I also picked up some of these heart picks in pink just to kind of bring in a little bit more pink here. So the first thing I want to do is to cut off the tags and to take it apart. We're just going to pull that off. I just want to play around and see where I want to place these. I may place the welcome one over opposite of here. I'm trying to kind of balance it out. Maybe I'll stick a pink one here in the center. Okay, I think I definitely like that. And before I glue everything down, oh, I've got one more. I think I'm going to use this for something else. I don't think I want any more words on here, so I think I'm just going to set this one aside for another project. Maybe I'll just do 2. Kind of looks like a little bug sticking up there, doesn't it? Okay. Okay, so I just took the back side of this ribbon here and just made a simple little bow tie bow. I'm not putting any tails or anything on it. And I'm just going to use it to cover up that little seam right there, that little hole right there. And I think this is going to give me just enough blue to my project. I think that's adorable. Now I may go back in and add a little more pop of blue in a few other places, but I'm kind of digging the way this is looking. And honestly, it may be cute to maybe dangle that down there. And I can put a little more blue there. Okay, I really think I like the way this looks better. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. Change of plans, y'all. This is what happens. Okay, so I'm just gonna cut a longer piece of ribbon. This is maybe 12 inches or so. And I'm gonna flip this over. And remember, this is the side that I wanna use. And I'm just gonna hot glue this. Now that we know this is how we want this to look, I will take these off. That's about where I want it to hang, I think. So I'm just going to take my ribbon and glue it to itself here. I don't want to glue it to, I don't really want to glue it to the back of this because I think that I'm going to make this wreath sort of like an interchangeable wreath for the seasons. And all I'll have to do is to swap out my colors here, and then I can always add other things to the center for my embellishments. That is looking super duper cute, y'all. Okay, now to attach our pieces to our wreath here, I could just hot glue this in just like this, but because I'm thinking I'm gonna use this and make different seasons, I'm gonna take my pipe cleaners and actually attach it that way. That way it's easy to take off to change out for the seasons. So I'll just hot glue one of my little pipe cleaners to the back of this. I'll take my little spatula and push it down. Okay, now that this is all cooled, I'm just going to attach these onto the back here. And the great thing about the pipe cleaners is once you get it attached on there, you can actually twist it and turn it until you get it the way that you want it to look. Now for these, I'm just going to kind of pull apart my pieces of jute twine here and sort of make me a place through here. And fish my pipe cleaner through that So let me pick that up so you can see it. So see, I just pulled apart my twine and I've got it looped through here. And now pull it tight and give it a twist. And like I said, just play around with it and see which way you want your, you know, your little hearts to face. Okay, there it is. Our little wreath is done. Oops, just kidding. I'm gonna add in these. Okay, so now I'm just gonna push in my little pink hearts. And I'm gonna probably add in some of the blue because I do want a little bit more blue showing through here. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of ribbon and tie this in a knot. That way it'll give me a little bit more of that pretty turquoise. I don't know about y'all, but I love to mix untraditional colors together. I mean, my Christmas tree was pink and turquoise as well. That just is my going color this year, I think. I'm just going to stick this in here, and then I'm going to put a little bit of glue to attach my heart to my ribbon, to my mesh here. Okay, so I think I like the way this looks. I'm going to go ahead and get my hearts glued in with my glue. So I'm just using my Sheer Bonder glue gun, and I'm taking pretty good care not to let my hot glue touch this part of my wreath, because remember, I'm going to be changing out this for the seasons. Okay, I can't wait to put this on my door and see what it looks like. Y'all, I absolutely love how this turned out. Isn't it adorable? I think you get just enough color with your turquoise and your pink, but the buffalo check and the burlap or the jute twine totally give it that farmhouse feel too. So, yay! I really love this little wreath. Okay, so I just got through hanging the wreath on the front door, and it looks like it's missing something. So I've got the little side light that's beside the door on the right-hand side. There's actually two side lights, but I have a plant on the left side. So it looks like something's missing on the right-hand side. So I think I'm going to add in a cute little heart, sort of like runner thing, sign. I don't really know what I'm going to call it. It's not really a sign because it doesn't say anything, but it's just going to fill that space. So my thought is to sort of hang these going down so that it kind of fills up that side light piece. But of course I want it to match my wreath, so I'm going to add in some of the buffalo check, and it's super easy to do. Let me cut this off first. So let's just clip off the little hanger here. You could pull it, but I pulled off one earlier and it left a hole in the center. So using your scissors to cut that tag off is going to be the easiest thing to do. So again, I'm going to use the buffalo check mesh. And I'm just going to eyeball a little piece. I might actually be able to get both of these on one piece. And if I can, that would be great. Okay, so I've got my glue gun, my my Sure Bonder glue gun is set to low temp. And you really want to glue styrofoam on low temp because you don't want it to melt your styrofoam. So that's the great thing about having a dual temp glue gun is you don't have to unplug your one glue gun and plug up the other one. All you do is flip a switch, and I absolutely love my Sure Bonder gun. So now that I've got that switched to low, I'm just going to hot glue my mesh to the back here. But I don't want it to go all the way to the edge because I'm actually going to ravel the edges a little bit so that it looks a little shabby. So I'm just going to drop a little glue on the edge. And then take my little rubber spatula and press it down. It does help if you let your glue set for just a second. Before you press into it. See, it doesn't stick up nearly as much. Isn't that adorable? I love it. Okay, so now that my glue is all cooled off, I'm just going to go around the edge here with my scissors, but I'm leaving about 1/4 of an inch of an edge. Now this is a little bit messy, so make sure you're doing this on a place that is going to be easy to sweep up. You can go in with an X-Acto knife and hit the edge, you know, right on the edge. That way you don't have the raveled look. But I really do like that raveled look on the edge. Okay, so now you can see the edge is a little bit stiff, but I'm just going to take my hand and sort of fray the edge a little bit. And if you happen to have some long pieces, just clip those off. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing for my red one, and after we're all done, I'm going to come back and show you how I'm going to put it all together to make my little hanging little decoration to go on the side light of my front door. Okay, so I've got 2 red ones and 1 pink one done. And I, of course, am going to add in my turquoise ribbon here. Now, this turquoise ribbon I did not get from Dollar Tree. This turquoise ribbon was left over from my cheer bow making days. And it did come from the Hair Bow Center. And I'll put a link below to this if you want to get some of this ribbon. But Dollar Tree does have some beautiful ribbon. They just didn't have any in the turquoise color that I needed. And this color, the color is marked off, but I'll be sure to put the color link down below too. Okay, so I cut off a piece about roughly 10 or 12 inches. And I want to start with that piece first because this is going to hang, obviously. And I want my hearts to sort of hang in sort of wonky you know, shapes. I could do them all down like this, but that's a little bit too, you know, uniform for me. I like things to be kind of sideways and twisted, so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to start off first with my red one, and I'm going to glue it on one of the fat parts of my heart. So I'm just going to take some hot glue. And I don't want this to go into the meshy part that's going to show. I just want this to be hidden on the heart itself. So I'm going to be really careful and not let any of that show. The great thing about these styrofoam pieces is they're super light, so I don't really have to worry about them falling down or any of that. Okay, so now I'm going to take another piece, and this piece is going to be shorter. I don't think I need one quite that long, and this one I may end up cutting off too. I'll know more once I get it hung on my door. But you want this one to be lined up with your first piece. So go ahead and put a little glue on that, because remember, I'm not letting my ribbon go all the way through like this, but it does need to line up. So actually this would be a great time to use my lines on my cutting mat. That will really help me to make sure that they're lined up. So here's my line here. Okay, now it's time to put on the pink one. And because the red one's going this way, I'm going to do the pink one on the opposite direction. I'm going to have to move this up. And I will, like I said, cut some of this off. But I've got to figure out how I want to place it first. Okay, so that looks pretty good. So my glue is going to go about right there. And then I'll just flip this over and cut the excess. Isn't that going to be cute? I'm so excited. Okay, so now I need another piece of my blue. This is just going to be an approximate measurement. Okay. This is going to be so cute hanging on my front. Hanging by the front door on the little side light. Okay, so I do want to make a bow to go on the top of this, because just hanging it by this edge of this raw ribbon is not very cute. So I'm just going to take a piece. Let's do it 24 inches. I'm just going to fold it and make an X just like this. and I'll gather it. So it's just going to be a cute little bow, not anything huge, and I'll just dovetail the ends. But I'll use a pipe cleaner to attach it. This pipe cleaner will also double as my hanger. Now, a quick tip if you're using grosgrain ribbon, if you don't want your edges to fray, if you'll just take a lighter and just sort of burn those edges, that'll keep that from fraying. And because the ribbon from this Dollar Tree ribbon is, exactly the same color, I'll just use the center of this to cover up my little pipe cleaner here. So I'll put this on. And just attach it with hot glue. Okay. I think I want to gather the ends of this before I attach that. Or maybe I'll do it like that. I just don't want this to be super big in the edge on the end. I want it to kind of taper in. Then I'll just hot glue this to the back. And because my ribbon is going to be covered here, I'll put just a little bit of glue here, just for some extra stability. You don't want to glue it all the way down. You still want it to have a little bit of movement. Okay, here's our little hanger. And now to make the hanger, I only need a really small hanger. And I honestly could have cut this pipe cleaner in half. I have a little hook outside, and that's what I'm going to hook this to. You can see my little hook there. Okay, y'all, I think this might be done. I'm going to go hang it up and see if there's anything else that I need to add. So give me just a second and I'll be right back and I'll let you know if it's done or not. Okay, so the only thing that I decided to add to the bottom was just the little dovetail to finish it off. So these two projects are complete, and now I'm going to go hang them up on the front, and I'm going to show you what it looks like all done. This little love you sign from the Dollar Tree was just what this little basket of greenery needed. I just think it gives it a nice pop of color, and the U is actually just stuffed down inside there. And y'all, here it is. The front entryway is all finished, and can you believe that I made this totally transform with just $11 and some change? I'm absolutely over the moon in love with how this turned out. That does it for today's video, y'all. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up because that would mean the world to me. And don't forget to share it with your friends because, y'all, that's what good friends do. We share things we love with our friends. And until next time, happy DIYing, y'all.